Hi there, welcome to Hadley's Podcast Chair, where we talk about stories that matter. This week's episode is titled Across the Pool, the unique experiences of international water polo players on Princeton's campus. In this episode, we explore what life looks like for international student athletes, specifically water polo players on Princeton's campus. I hope you enjoy. What are all your names and where are you from?
I'm Emesha and I'm from Budapest, Hungary.
My name is Enrique and I'm from Madrid, Spain.
Hi, my name is Adam and I'm from Budapest, Hungary.
Okay, this first topic we're going to talk about is your upbringing, like your childhood. What was your childhood like? Like, what was your upbringing? How was your family like at home? What were some values that your parents raised you with?
For me personally, my father always gives some extracurriculum to do something, so I'm not gonna be raised by the street. It taught me a lot. You always like put in the extra hours in sport, in classes. Whenever he felt I'm not doing great in school, he just put me harder work, and that's why I was able to come here.
Do you think those values were like significant to your culture, or like were a lot of your friends raised the same way, or was it kind of unique for you to be?
Absolutely not. Most of my friends were hanging out in the park or like playing video games, and I was just not able to do that. At first, like it was hard for me, but like then I realized I just got way better than them, and that's it.
Anyone else? What was your
Yeah.
childhood like?
Yeah. I mean, Adam just said he didn't play video games or go to a park. I think in Spain the culture is more like my parents just gave me some like ethics when I was a child, and they were like they're just if I took a wrong path, but they didn't just like show me the path or make me do extra classes or extra sports. They were really liberal. They were like, do whatever you want. You just have to like come home and be able to pass your next semester. So I think it was more like myself just wanting to improve, like have more grades, and they were always there for support. I passed some hours trying different things, which I think I helped me because they were not showing me the way. They were uh, giving me the instruments to go wherever I want to go. I before water polo I practiced taekwondo, I practiced boxing, I did football, I did handball, I did a lot of things. So I think the way they raised me is for me to be sure that I'm doing what I really want to do. You know,
Yeah.
I know what is.
Does
for
that
you.
well, was that like similar to a lot of your friends or like people you knew in Spain? Do you think that was kind of a cultural thing, like a more relaxed, figure it out yourself kind of
Yeah, I mean,
approach?
for example, my parents were way more savage in the way of the society was like child's play. If they broke their arms or their legs, it's okay, they can heal, but they would let them go to the streets, play football in the neighborhoods, play with a lot of dangerous things just because they were childs. So I think they are literally so liberal in Spain that childs can go in a bunch of different ways, and I think that's culturally. Of course, there's always people that is that doesn't let the children to go and play with another kids, but I think the norm was more like you can do whatever you want, you just have to fulfill some requirements. You know what I mean?
And you, Amsha?
For me, it was like kind of the mixture of them both, because they always taught me not to take anything for granted, but also like they gave me the space to pursue whatever I want and just do whatever I enjoy. Um, so yeah.
In moving to America and coming here, have you upheld the same values you were raised with? Do they apply the same way? And have you had to pick up any others to keep up with students here?
For me, I'm trying to keep my values the same way, but I haven't been here for long, so I feel like it has stayed the same so far.
What values are you talking about?
Treating others with respect and care for others that I do actually love, and yeah, these mostly these, but
Any values you're keeping and ones you've had to pick up since coming here?
Yeah, I think it was a cultural shock for me, like really big cultural shock because I even the way of greeting people in Spain we greet with two kisses. Here you don't do that, never ever. And the first time I came here, I was like completely out of context, and people were looking at me and like saying, "What is he doing?" And I just didn't know. Okay, I thought every part of the world was like home. So there was a bunch of things for sure I had to adjust, but I would say that in the generally, um, it was more or less the same.
This is value wise, just a little reminder.
So I feel like Erika and I had like hard time getting here. Like after we weren't able to attend orientation, but absolutely, you know, there were some basic cultural differences. Um, but I feel like I after like the midterm, like you can get used to it pretty easily. Luckily, the team helps you with that, and like everybody's so positive here. I feel like in Hungary, the greediness is, and like, you know, if your cow dies, like if my cow dies, yeah, your
Is that a
cow has
saying?
to,
Say
yeah,
it.
dögöljön meg a szomszéd teána is. It's like basically my cow dies, then yours has to also like. So this greediness, and I don't feel like here, like because of this capitalist culture, is like everybody has the same opportunity to get better. But yeah,
Kind of building off what you were just saying, how does the class system operate in your home country? Do you think it's kind of rigid, or do you think people can move up the economic ladder if they work hard enough?
it's completely rigid.
Really?
Like economically, if you are in the government friend zone, you basically you're able to be a millionaire in 24 hours, and it's happened to many people. Also that I know of. I'm great friends with that. Uh, I mean, with their kids. But on the other hand, like if you have a business outside the country, yes, you can develop and you can improve economically. But this middle class is constantly decreasing, and this is the main issue in Hungary that there is no middle class, and the poorer classes are increasing, and also like intensively increasing this friend zone also. So yeah, that's it.
Did that affect your decision in coming to America? Like, do
It's
you?
not about like coming into America. It's about going somewhere else. Like I wouldn't attend it to Hungarian university. My father always said that like you have to go to university somewhere else, not to Hungary.
Anyone else? Class systems?
Oh yeah, in Spain, I think in Spain it's in a really bad situation right now. Everything is controlled by politicians, and if you are not friends or you don't have like contacts with people in the either the government or the municipal government or the regional government or something like that, you cannot grow. You have to know people, so it's more about having contacts. If you are a hard worker, okay, if you are the best of the best, maybe you can climb the ladder, but it's really hard. Plus, the system right now is helping the people that doesn't try hard, that just really sits there and ask for help and just want some financial aid from the government, and because they want the votes they just give it for free. So everyone, they say in Spain is like a middle class. It's not. I think everyone, nearly everyone, is somehow poor. People cannot buy homes. Everything is owned by corrupt people, and so I think it's in a really bad situation. I don't think you are able to climb the ladder.
And I know you guys have only been here a little bit, but have you heard things about America about moving up in the class system? Do you think it's similar? Do you think there's more opportunity here to move up than if you were to stay at home?
Yeah, for sure. I would say I love that people thinks the system is bad. Sometimes, like I talk with people and they just say the system is worse, that there are so much corruption, and I love that because you cannot let uh, everything get fixed you have to protest a lot. I think people protesting here is amazing. In my home country, no one says nothing. So here you have the possibility to climb way better. You protest more, but I think that's good. I think you have to fight for what's yours, and ultimately that allows a lot of people from all bunch different backgrounds to attend these universities to um, study what they want and being useful to society and perform as was what they are trying to do and fulfill their dreams, get a home, make a family if they want to. I think that's amazing. Like you can climb the ladder relatively easily compared to my country. No, what about you?
Well, I don't really see the American system, like I don't see it through, but I feel like here we kind of live in a bubble and we don't really see the whole thing. And for us, it's probably would be easier here to climb up the ladder. But kids who can't come here because they just don't have the resources to study that much or to like pursue the extra curriculums to get in a great university. For them, it's probably much harder.
Yeah. So you think it's more like the Princeton that would push you forward than you coming to America? Or both?
I think it's both for us. Yeah.
Okay. Kind of on that note, how like what did school look like for you in your home countries? How did classes work? Who taught you? How old were you when began? Was it public, private? Just kind of talk about your schooling at home.
My school system was way different. We don't have like before coming here, and I had to translate a lot of things. We don't measure it from 0 to 4 or with A's or B. We just go 1 to 10 in everything. We don't have like letters for marks or anything like that. So we had to translate a lot. Plus, we don't have the I'm the top 5% of my class or I'm top 25%. We don't have that. Like at least I don't have that. We have for sure. We have like some special prizes for people that is really smart, and for like the top 10%, maybe we get some sort of certificate, but it's not normal and we don't do that all years. So if you go to a private school, normally it helps a lot. And the public schools, I think it's more like depends on the situation of the city and everything. I think we study way more than people in America. Like I had to took the SAT and it was hard. Don't get me wrong, but when I did the same in my country, I got a worse grade, even though I studied for that for all my life. And it's really hard. You have to memorize a lot of things. We have too many subjects, and it's not about you really thinking about it. It's just you memorizing a bunch of stuff that won't work when you are older. So I don't know. I think your system is better in studies. I don't think you learn as much as we do, but I think it's in a better way, and you get to actually think for yourself, not just mm, saying again what you read.
In Hungary, you are not able to choose. Like everybody has to do the same thing. Everybody has to learn the same thing, and I feel like, especially like in the last 4 years, like before university, I think you are as mature that you are like somewhat able to know what you want to study. Like I knew that I don't want to be a chemist, and like I had a really hard time doing chemistry in high school, but like yeah, I feel like this would have helped like this system, and it's more about like not about learning and like how to learn how to think. It's more about like just reading the test, memorizing it,
Yeah.
and repeating that.
But how was it? I'm kind of going from more like the class perspective. Were most people in public school? Did you have public versus private? Is it just one sort of school system? Did you have to get special tutors to be able to come here? Like what's that?
Definitely, you need special tutors to come here. For me personally, I don't think if you're from a public school, you're able to attend just because of the language. Like at this point, I talked with my teacher from high school, and 18 teacher is missing from one of the best areas, if not the best areas, from Budapest. So, so the problem is there are a lot of teachers are missing. You're not able to get the proper education. That's the problem. And definitely private schools are really great, but it's really expensive. and it's kind of not worth it. Extra tutors, I feel like it's worth it more.
Yeah, I feel like in Budapest, the private schools are really expensive, and they're mostly like a jump start to study in a foreign country. But private schools in the rural or like smaller cities, those are mostly for disabled people or yeah. And well, there's like high school rankings in Hungary, and I feel like it really depends on the school and the teacher how your classes are taught and how much material you have to give back. Like, because some teachers, yes, they ask for what you read, but I was lucky to have some teachers who actually valued my own like thoughts and experiences and asked for what I think about certain things.
Do a lot of people that you know come to America or foreign countries for school, or do they usually just stay at home? Like, are you kind of an anomaly for being here?
Um, well, I think most people like in the country stay, but the fortunate or like I was in a pretty good high school, and I think like 30% of our class went to study abroad, but most of them are studying in Europe, and some athletes come to the US.
Okay, we're gonna switch to the more water polo and lifestyle part of the interview. So, what age did you all start playing water polo, and how did you get into it?
Oh, mine is actually funny. I started pretty late. I think people had to start like when they're 5 years old or something like that.
Not
I started
here.
when I was like 12, like 11, 12 years old. I started pretty damn late. And my family, like, they were in water sports. My aunt was an Olympian swimmer. So they were really much into it, but they hate it because I think sport culture in Spain is way different than in America. They don't recognize that people and they have to train a lot and with bad resources. So to sum up, my family didn't want me to do any sport professionally or any water sport at all, and I just went to my school. They had this water polo extracurricular activity, and I was like, "Dad, I want to play this." And he was like, "No, you don't want to." So after that, I just enjoyed it. I was good at it, so I wanted to a more serious club. My parents support me. I had to like drive an hour to go and an hour to come back to my home every day for like bunch of years. But my parents support me all the way. So I think that kind of being difficult for you drive me to get better and just climb the water polo ladder.
I started playing water polo like the same age as you. Like I was 10. Before that, I was started swimming since I was 3. Um, Basically, water polo for me kind of changed my life. It mostly changed my life 2 years ago when I came here for Junior Olympics. When coaches started like emailing me with these opportunities of getting a scholarship and getting to university here. Um, Before that, it wasn't my goal. It was like, yeah, it would be great, but like I never counted like it's an opportunity for me. And after that happened, yeah, it's definitely opened my mind and like started focusing more in school and like to get into to a great university here.
For me, I also started when I was 12, but I had to beg my parents to play because my brother was playing, and I really wanted to try out, but they told me it wasn't a womanly sport, so maybe like I was super skinny and they were scared of me drowning or getting drowned. But yeah, I also knew how to swim, so it wasn't that hard of a transition. But I feel like in Hungary, like the starting age is getting smaller and smaller, and younger
Yeah.
people are starting to try out.
And yeah, water polo is kind of an interesting sport because I think it's very different country to country, especially in the U.S. So, in your home country, how popular is water polo? Who typically plays it, and how valued is it? Do you think it's valued a lot more there than it is here at school, and like those differences?
In Hungary, I think it's one of the national sports. It's valued, but mostly for the men's. But I feel like
Typically,
that applies for every sport, that women's aren't a bit looked down. But yeah, I think Hungary, it's different. I think it's different than here, because here it's not that popular of a sport. But in Hungary, I think like most kids or little boys try out.
in like school areas, like do you think the sport is put before school, and like how does that different from the system here? Like do you like the way we do it here at Princeton, or do you wish it was a little more intense, less focused on school, more focused on school? This
I
a
want
little
to
bit.
circle back like into high school because you guys have
Yeah.
high school teams, um, and for us the academics and sports are separate,
Mm.
and we can only play for clubs. Um, but I think I like that a lot. But also here, it's it's amazing to play for your like university and get that support from them, and to be able to like put academics um, at a higher level. Because in Hungary, I think it really depends on the person or on the athlete. Like whatever they value most is what they put more effort in. And but at a higher level, probably water polo will come first.
Yeah, and here is more school first.
Yeah, for me in Spain, I'm gonna be like people is gonna think that I'm a hater from Spain. I'm not, okay. I love the people, the food, I love the country. I just don't like the systems. So our system is pretty much like the Hungarian one. Bad thing is people don't even know what water polo is, so it's not famous.
Really?
Yeah, we are pretty good at it. Our
Yeah, you
national
are
team
good
is
at.
really good. All underage national teams are really good, but I think it's more like because they make us train 4 hours in the morning and another 4 in the afternoon. So it's like if you get there and you go through all the trainings, you're gonna be good
Yeah.
because so people don't really know what it is. You don't get rewarded. Like the salaries are really bad except for the top 1%, and I mean top 1% as the national team, the senior national team. That's the only guys that really get
Paid.
paid. And so we work as well as Hungary. We don't have teams for schools. We have like, but it's not actually a league. It's more like extracurricular activities. So you have to play with a club, and I think that's the worst because the schedule is so crazy and you don't have time for yourself. You have like I remember for here it will sound crazy, but I end up training at like 11 p.m. like really late. And Spanish schedule is completely different, but really late. And so you get like if you wanna play at sport at a high level, especially water polo, you will sleep 6 hours if you are lucky.
And did you find yourself putting it before school, before everything else?
Yeah, and for the water polo for the clubs, water polo is the first thing
Yes.
they will say to you. Water polo. My SAT, the SAT of my country, and it's much important in my country than it is here. I had to play the day before in a completely remote place in the Canary Islands. I broke a finger and they were like, "We don't give a fuck. We won the match." And I was like, I probably messed up with my entire academic career because of this. Then it worked.
You
It
seem to
worked.
be doing okay right
It
now.
worked out well, but I mean, they don't really care about you
Yeah.
academically. If you are not finishing a school, they don't care. If you are good at whatever pro you play, if you are not, you don't play. So
Yeah.
I think, and you don't have the support. It's more about what you want to do. You don't have really support or people coming to see you unless it's your family. You know.
Yeah.
I think in Hungary, water polo is getting more popular every year. The salaries are compared to other sports are not really good, but it's definitely the toughest championship is the Hungarian national championship, and after, of course, the Champions League. Um, but I feel like at home they don't really care about academics. Like if you want to be a water polo player, you have to put in the hours, and they require from you that you're gonna put in the hours, and that you're gonna be a water polo players, and they treat you like even the coaches are treating you like you're a water polo player. You're never gonna be a professor or whatever. Like for me, it was like I was from school. I was training too much, but for water polo, I was studying too much. So it every time I was like in training, or like I accidentally was late from training because of an extra class, I got shouted. But then why I missed the exam because I had morning training. So it
Yeah.
was like it's not doesn't matter what I did. It's like always a problem.
Yeah. How is that different here? Do you think schools put first or water polo is put first, and like how do you like the system that's run here?
Absolutely, I love the system how it runs here because like Dusty the coach really cares about water polo, but also wants us to achieve academically what we want to achieve. Also, like it's really important, and then we have strict rules about that we can excel in water polo and excel in the academic life also. So I feel like it's pretty nice, and also they have this communication between the coaching staff and between the academic instructors.
Yeah. How has classes been? Has it been hard with teachers? Is there language/accent barrier? Are things done completely different? Like I know math, like, and is it weird adjusting to the American way? Just like kind of touch on those.
I would say yeah. It's actually was pretty hard in the first few classes because these specific words, like these phrases, was new to me, and like I had to learn it. That was pretty hard, but I feel like with the as I told you, with the help of my teammates and friends that I made, it's getting easier and easier, and also like we can adjust over time.
Yeah, the school system, I think, for Adam and me, probably it was really hard because we didn't have no time to prepare. I remember preparing for the bronze medal match against Hungary and doing math homework without attending to classes. So it was like, what am I doing right now? But besides that, when I came here just for the first few weeks, it was hard. But we have a lot of time. It's like you have class, but you have homework, so you have a lot of time to do research of to figure it out by yourself or whatever you need. You have too much time. I love it. Really, I enjoy it so much. You can be with your headphones, listening to music, and you're doing your homework. And in Spain, you do nearly all of that in the classes, so you have like maybe 8 hours of classes. Here you have like
Wow.
4. That's amazing. Plus, I think the teachers help a lot. If you want to build a relationship with your teacher, you can make some good bonds with a lot of the staff over here, and they will help you figure it out. They will respond to the emails so quick. Normally, they won't take more than 2 hours to respond to an email, which I think is insane. Um, Plus, you get rewarded really well. I'm taking a class which we are going to Kenya for free for like 3 weeks. I'm taking another class. We are going to Serbia for free. It's like I'm getting so much things, and I just have to do my homework and thinking. It's amazing. I think that the system is pretty much the best one I could think about, or probably the best one in the world, like academically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. The resources here are truly amazing. Well, I'm taking STEM classes, so like the language barrier wasn't that big, but also as Adam said, like these specific words that are related to like specific topics, um, it's hard sometimes to like be able to translate and quickly like understand what's going on. But and also like for me the readings are a struggle because it's a lot sometimes, but But as I said, I'm taking STEM classes, so I'm kind of getting like I'm not. I don't have to read that much. Thank God.
Do you guys feel like there's any unwritten rules here at Princeton and like things you had no idea about and you kind of were confused when everyone else was doing something a certain way and like how did you adjust or did you not really feel that way? Like did you think there was an unwritten rule book of like how to be a student here that you weren't used to?
I think you have to talk with people to know how it works here. I think there's a lot of like eating class, a lot of things you have to meet people. I don't think it's so hard to get into those things. You have to be able to keep up a conversation, be able to share what you are and what you do, and like be nice to people, and then you'll get to be at nearly wherever you want to be and meet a bunch of interesting people. So I don't think there's an written rule. You just have to socialize a little bit.
Do you view yourself as having like kind of a twofold identity? Like, do you perform a certain way when you interact with your family and friends from home versus interacting with your friends here? And like, did you feel that at all or no?
Yeah, for sure. It's completely different because in Spain we are so open up. We will do some jokes that people might find offending here, like not really funny, and we would do that, and we don't do that like for being real, like saying it and being truthful about it. It's just some phrases make us laugh. It's just like that, and some jokes will make everyone laugh about every group or party, or like we don't find that hurtful. You will do that with everyone from every background, for everything, any type of joke. So it's way different. Plus, in Spain, we are closer in the way of physical being, so you cannot do that here. People will find that like you are a stranger, and I'm so careful about it. So it's really funny. It's really funny how people look at you when you do something you feel completely normal, and they look at you and they were like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, I think so too. The jokes and what we would say in Hungary, here you would get cancelled for it sometimes. So definitely you have to think about what you'll say. But yeah, and I also feel like I wouldn't say two different identities, but definitely like two different kind of personalities. But that also comes because I think it's pretty hard for me to open up. So like being here for 2 months, I obviously don't treat others how I would in Hungary.
Since moving to Princeton, do you feel like you've become more Americanized? If so, what does that look like?
Absolutely, because when I say somebody to hi, how are you, I just don't wait for the reaction. This is the first thing I noticed, that like somebody came up to me, hi, how are you, and just left. So now I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah, same. That thing completely, like sometimes I feel people is being rude at me, then I realize they were not being rude at me. They were actually like they just do that. Plus, for example, sometimes I do things that I would do in my home country, and then I get embarrassed because people laugh at it. I remember the other way I wink at someone just to say hi, and I hear them laughing, and I was like, oh, what am I doing? They don't do that here. And sometimes even I think people think I'm flirting with them when I am completely not. It's just something normal for me. Okay.
Yeah.
The small talk is definitely different. So if someone would ask how am I in Hungarian, I would like truly express my feelings. But here it's just great. How are you? And then we move on.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely that.
Have you taken on any sort of like American traditions? Like, do you think you're becoming more American?
Yeah, I've gained 10 pounds.
Is that
yeah. I eat a lot here. Yeah,
yeah.
American.
Yeah, same for me. I find myself eating pizza and hot dogs every day, and I'm like, what are you doing, Enrique? Stop that! Stop that! That's not healthy. I feel so American right now.
Do your family
Yeah.
and friends tell you that you guys have like sound more American or act more American or not yet? You've only been here a little bit.
No, so sometimes I say something in English. I'm talking, and just by speaking so much English, I don't remember some strange word in Spanish, and they're like, "Oh, the Princeton guy doesn't remember how to speak Spanish." I'm like, "Okay, man, okay, that's correct."
Yeah, it's kind of the same situation, and also the traditions. Yeah, now I'm not wearing as much jeans as I'm used to, so I am in a hoodie at this point and sweatpants. So
Wait till you get to the khakis.
yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do that. Like there is a limit that I don't pass, but yeah. And for the same thing is like sometimes I say in English something that I don't remember in Hungarian. It's like they're like, oh, of course, the American. Oh,
Yeah.
you don't even know how to speak in Hungarian.
Same over here.
Okay, thank you guys.